Alrighty guys, how the heck y'all doing today? She's another cool one. Minus 32 here this morning. At 8:30 this morning, it was minus 32. Wind chill value of minus 43, 42 or 43, something like that. Yeah, she's cool. What's going on? Well, did our barn chores, and our one landlord that we had a bunch of, well, it's new land, was new land to us this year, was east of town there. Adam, he phoned me up yesterday and asked me if I had any more straw that I could possibly get rid of. He got 4 bales from us before, and he ended up buying a couple of cows, because that's his goal, is to have cattle anyways, and at least a few. And I said, well, tell you what, for you, I'll friggin' get rid of a maximum of 10 bales. I said I can do 10. So he came and got 5 so far, and he's got to come back and grab another 5. So I'm just trying to move a little bit of this snow to make it a little easier to get to these ones here. I'm going to give them 5 of these, and then we'll head for the pasture. I got to get the bobcat fired up. Oh look, he's already here. I got to get the bobcat fired up and push a bunch of snow right in front of our barn door, the main door, just to clean that out a little bit better, because I can't get in there with this tractor. And there he is. So I'm going to get some of this snow away from the end of these bales so that it's easier to grab them off the end, and I'm not loading a bunch of snow in the bucket and sending it home with them. Anyway, I'll bring you guys back later. Well, there he goes with his last of his 10. So now we can get on to business with what we got going on, and that's getting our cows fed to the north here in the pasture. Go check on them, make sure everybody's happy and healthy, so on and so forth. So when I get out there, I'll bring you guys back. We'll talk then. Alrighty, I spilt a little bit here, so these 2 cows came up and they're kind of licking it up a little bit. Out there, over there, that stuff that's on the ground, I actually dumped what was a little bit left in the bucket last night. Now last night I brought them 3 bucket loads, or 2 bucket loads I should say, and this end bunk right here on the end, it was the one that was the emptiest. So I was able to get a bucket load in it, and but these other 2 bunks are basically half friggin' full still. Like, there's quite a bit on that end. The middle here is cleaned out pretty good. That one, there's still quite a bit in that section. And then this next bunk, in the 3 sections of it, again, it's got lots in this section right here where this cow's standing. The middle is not too bad, and the end is still not too bad. So when you spread that out throughout the whole thing, it's still half full, same as the other one. And the porta bunk is half full. So I'm not bringing them any more feed. To hell with them. They can clean this stuff up. Yeah, it's cold today, but it's gonna warm up overnight, and by tomorrow morning it's -7. So, and they're not overly hungry because they're all still hanging out on the bedding pack here. So this is all they're gonna get. We'll come out tomorrow and do a check on them, but I don't anticipate much more than a bucket load for tomorrow at this point. But they seem to be relatively happy just hanging out there on the bedding path, so that's fine by me. Anyway, we'll get back to the yard and we'll see what CP wants to do. We might end up in the city doing a grocery shopping run just to stock up on a few items, because lots of people are saying how the stores are getting low on numerous items. Some stores, they say, but now I don't know if it's a real pick or not, if it's even from this country or not, but where the excuse me, COVID grocery stores are completely cleaned right out. There's nothing to be bought. So, and since it's going to be warm tomorrow, that might be the day to hang out on the farm and do stuff on the farm. And just run to the city and do our little bit of shopping that we need to do and get that stuff dealt with today. There's a huge trucker convoy from truckers from all over Canada are converging, and they're going to all meet up at in Ottawa on Parliament Hill, apparently, to try and stop some of these mandates, this mask mandate, or better yet, the vaccination mandate for truckers. Lots of these truckers, 2 years ago and back in 2020, when this COVID thing started, nobody was vaccinated, and truckers were praised for working their heinies off, going 24/7, like up here and in the States. Lots of trucking companies are running this e-log, or electronic logging device, ELD, and that electronic logging device, they said we were allowed to dismember it, disengage it, whatever you want to call it, and run as many friggin' hours as we possibly could if you were a trucker. And then shortly after that, they switched it so that anybody hauling essential goods, medical supplies, grocery items, that kind of stuff, those guys were able to continue running as many hours and miles as they possibly could. And then it switched to now, like, I had an email sent to me, and it switched from general essential goods to medical goods, where they were able to continue running without the ELD. But nobody had to have a vaccination. Nobody had to get the jab all of these truckers, in order for them to cross the line, they're able to go back and forth without a vaccination. Now, the Canadian government is trying to mandate for truckers to get vaccinated, and so is the US government, from what I understand. Like, if you're not vaccinated, you're not going across the border. And if you do go across the border, you have to quarantine when you come home. For Canadian guys, you come home with a load of product, you got to quarantine for 2 weeks. Well, how does that product sit in your trailer for 2 weeks? It doesn't. It's just dumped. So 2 years ago, these guys were praised. Now, they're not praised anymore. They went from being the greatest thing on the face of the earth to being the biggest evil on the face of the earth, basically. And they're protesting it. And I'm all for their protest. I don't agree that it should be forced on us, this vaccination. It's a choice. If you want to get vaccinated, go get vaccinated. If you don't want to get vaccinated, then don't get vaccinated. If you get COVID, well, it was your choice to be vaccinated or not vaccinated. And I'm not saying getting vaccinated is going to save you, because there's a hell of a lot of people that get vaccinated that actually get really sick from the vaccine. there's a hell of a lot of people that got vaccinated and they're still getting COVID. So the vaccine's not proven either. So in my eyes, it is kind of a farce, and I am a vaccinated person, double vaccinated person. So, and I'm not afraid to say it either, but I think it's a farce. I did it, but was it worth doing it? I have no idea. Go truckers, go. You roll on, roll on. Let's get the numbers up there, and let's fight for our rights. Sorry I'm not joining you all the way to Ottawa. If I had a big truck and I could get away, if it wasn't for my cattle and stuff, and I could get away for a week or 2 weeks to join you guys and stay with you out there, I would be, but that's just not feasible for me right now. Sorry, but I do support you, and there's a hell of a lot of people out there that do support you. Just so you guys know, you are being supported. Anyway, enough of that. I'm gonna let you guys go, and we'll find out what CP wants to do. We'll talk to y'all later. Okay guys, so with a follow-up to the trucker convoy, I really hope it's going to make a big difference for everyone. I hope that Trudeau actually listens, but in my estimation, he ain't going to give a shit. And it's high time that this country found out who really keeps this country rolling. And it's sure as hell ain't the friggin' politicians. They don't have nothing to do with it. It's the truckers, the farmers, and the oil and gas men. That's who keeps this country rolling. Right, babe? Yeah, you a little fogged up?
Yeah.
You want me to take those? So, as CP loads up the wood box onto something new, bigger and better. I don't know if it's bigger and better, but anyway. I went and got grain samples from our 4 little bins that we got. Alrighty, so here, this is haymaker oats that was left over from last year. In the one bin, there's about, I don't know, maybe 50 bushel in it. This is haymaker oats from our field at home. And, well, in the bags, they look okay. This one compared to this one. These ones don't look too bad. They're little, there's lots of small ones in there. Now over here, this is, back you up. This one is Conlin. I believe it's called Conlin. Forage barley. And this one, I know it says Cattler on the bag, but anyways, I got a little bit of barley from Old Straight Pipes, and I believe this is Metcalf forage barley. So the whole idea of what are we doing with this in the house? Well, I'm going to take 100 seeds from each friggin' bag, just random pick, and put them in a damp paper towel in a, I don't know, container of some sort.
Hey, babe.
And
Can you count that high?
can I what?
Count that high?
Can I count that high? No, I'm going to have you count that high, and I know it'll be screwed. Anyways, we'll take 100 seeds, put them in a damp paper towel starting today, and run for a week and see what our germination is. I'm sure we're going to be fine on these 3. This one is the iffy one. I am looking for this one. I am looking for a minimum of 75% germination. So that's 75 seeds have to germinate in 7 days. These 3, I'm sure, will be fine. But time will tell, right? Let's find out. Okay, I'll bring you guys back once I get it all set up. Talk to you then. Alrighty, guys. So, over here, we have my Conlin barley that we combined at home. Next to that is our barley that we got from Straight Pipes. Next to that is our Haymaker oats that was left over from last year, cleaned. And then in this one is our Haymaker oats that we grew at home and combined at home. So I try to do it as realistic as possible. Like CP was watching videos and she's saying, well, they're talking about soaking the seed. Well, I don't soak the seed before I freaking put it in the ground. Like one guy was saying on YouTube, was saying, soak your seed. When you're doing a seed germination test, soak your seed for about 10 to 12 hours before you put it in your container. Well, I'm not doing that. So, I'm not doing that. I'm not soaking the seeds, because I don't soak the seeds before I seed them in the ground.
It was peas.
What?
It was for peas.
It was for peas.
I didn't know it was for peas.
Oh. Do you soak peas before you plant them in the ground?
A lot of people do for their garden.
Okay, guys, so anybody out there that grows peas, do you soak your seed before you put it in the ground? I know they inoculate the seed, but do you soak it?
I said for their garden they do.
I know. I'm asking in a field application. This is for a field application. So, it doesn't take much space. That's 100 seeds, 100 seeds, 100 seeds, 100 seeds. So basically, I'm just closing that up. I gave them room so they're not just in a pile. And then we're going to... That should be lots of water. Give them some water. Kind of soaked them a little bit, probably too much. That would be in a slough situation. What?
Do you know which bag that's from?
This one's from this bag right here. Okay. Yeah, I know which one that's from. So that one's done. That's our home oats. So basically, yeah, like, you just set it in that dish. As long as these suckers stay sealed, right? Put that on top of that. That one goes there. This one, we gotta soak him yet. And theoretically, if I open this up in 3 days, we should see. Make sure that's sealed up, please, babe.
Don't get too excited.
We should see some kind of germination, but
This is oats?
this is clean oats.
Okay.
Goes with that one. And you can see the seeds in there, right? Like so. That's Straight Pipes right here. And that's home barley. Yep. And the whole idea here for us is to leave it sit for 7 days. So Today is Tuesday, right? It's Tuesday today, right?
Okay. I don't know.
So by Tuesday of next week, we want to see a bare minimum of at least 75% germination on everything. If we don't have that, I ain't using it, and that means that seed, and that means we'll have to buy seed again. I know. I'd be shaking my head too. And it doesn't have to be put in the sunlight because the seeds don't germinate in sunlight when they're put in the ground. So there, let's find out what happens in a week. Fun, fun, fun. Let's get her done. We'll catch y'all later.